Last episode, we were introduced to Robin Keenan of REDI Enterprises. She taught us all about the history of REDI Enterprises and how it got to where it is today. Now, we are going to explore the different services that REDI offers. To start, we're going next door to visit Donna at Brain Injury Relearning Services, also known as BIRS. Donna can always be found with her four-legged support worker, Molly the Labradoodle, who has been deemed an emotional support worker for clients and staff alike and is a daily presence at the BIRS office. Does Molly assist clients? Does Molly help people?
She does, and Molly helps her staff as well.
Okay.
Most people know pets and the benefits. I mean, she creates a calmness. People that come through our doors are often a little bit apprehensive. As you can imagine, if you've had a brain injury, you're like, oh, I gotta go to my doctor, refer me to this place. I wonder what they do in there, and they're expecting something scary, and they open the door and that big fluffy ball comes to greet you. And animals have that ability to sense when you're maybe scared or stressed, and this particular dog really tends to pick up on that, and she'll often come to you and just petting the dog, and it calms people. Makes you feel better. If you're happy or something's bothering you,
she just knows.
People, if they're we've seen her with people who are having seizures, and she lays on their feet while they're having the seizure, and she comes around and checks on you, kind of licks you on the side of your neck as you're coming out of it, and then just be's there to kind of. And it's not something we trained her to do, it's just kind of innate in them, I guess you would say.
What she knows.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because we just had recently a lady who finished services with us, and one of her comments was, I never knew when I came in how much Molly would have helped me, how she would become a part of my recovery journey.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
While I was at the Brain Injury Relearning Services, Diana took the opportunity to tell me about their preventative programs and even fitted me with a new helmet.
So my name is Diana. I just kind of wanted to share that we do community car seat inspections with Murray's every fourth Thursday of the month at 5 o'clock. So if you are interested in getting your seats checked, you can connect with Alberta Health Services there, and we'll book you an appointment. And we are also distributing e-scooter helmets in conjunction with Bird Canada. So if you are riding an e-scooter and you're in need of a helmet, come on down and we'll help you out. Helmets are so important for just preventative measures with head injuries, and it greatly reduces head injuries by over 80%. So if you can protect your head, it's going to go a long ways.
If I have an accident, should I immediately replace my helmet?
Absolutely. So a lot of our helmets are one-time use, so as soon as there's an accident, or if you outgrow it, or if it gets damaged, you definitely want to replace it.
Okay, great. And do helmets have an expiration date? Say if I've been using one for 5 or 6 years, is it time to get a new one?
Yes, most helmets typically have an expiration date between 3 to 5 years. All right, so we're gonna fit you for a helmet. So we want to follow very, very specific rules when you're fitting a helmet. So that's the 2V1 rule. So if you go 2 fingers above your eyebrow, that's how much room you should have on your forehead. So you want to go down here. Yes. And each helmet is built differently, so as long as there's no more than 2 fingers worth of helmet, forehead.
Great.
So these, the straps here, should go on either side of your ear. Okay. Right? And then these adjusters are going to adjust accordingly to make it nice and snug. And the one, you should only be able to fit 1 finger underneath the chin strap, so it's nice and snug as well.
So 2V1. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
So let's fit you here. There we go. So we know it's straight. There's no more than 2 fingers. Your fingers, so not my fingers, not anyone else's.
Yes, my fingers. Great.
Okay. And then I do need to adjust the sides a bit here.
still
You can still, yeah.
loosen a little. Great.
There we go.
Okay. Perfect. There we go.
Yeah, it's good. It's perfect.
That's
for you.
perfect. So no more than 2. I got V on both sides and 1 under here. That's great. Thank you. High five. Yay. Okay.
After a quick break, I sat down with Donna to learn more about BERS and how it operates.
All right, so my name is Donna Stein. I'm the manager of Brain Injury Relearning Services. The acronym for that is BERS. We started Brain Injury Relearning Services under the name the Head Injury Program in 1992. We started out of a need to provide services to people who have brain injuries. REDI, as you know, chiefly supports people who have developmental disabilities, so born with their disability. We now typically serve usually anywhere between 100 and 150 people a year. And referrals come in either from doctors or from family members. You can self-refer. So what typically happens, so if you had, let's say you were in a wreck and you came out of it with a brain injury, you would be involved with acute care for a period of time. They look after you, they get you stabilized, they do that initial care, and then you're typically discharged home. If you're one of the lucky ones, you go home and you're like, oh, okay, I feel good. You go back to work and everything's fine. What often happens is people get home and they're like, I don't know, yeah, I feel good, but I go to do something and I'm having trouble. Things I used to be able to do without thinking are now making me very tired because I have to concentrate so hard to remember the steps, or I can't quite remember how to do it. It takes me a while to get going. And then they go see their doctor, and their doctor says, you know what, you might need to go see those people.
Okay.
And then they get referred to us, and we help them with those final steps. Give them the exercises to hopefully build on their cognitive skills. Building cognitive skills is kind of like, people can relate to physical exercise. If you want to run a mile, you can't just get up and put your clothes on and go outside and run a mile. You have to build up. You start by walking slowly and you build that up. Building your cognitive skills is very similar. So they come in, we do an assessment to find out what is the actual cognitive area that's causing you the difficulty, why it's difficult for you at home. And then we give you those exercises to start building that cognitive area. Then people get to the point where, okay, they're back in that range of what's typical for somebody your age. Or they get to the point where, you know what, the improvement is coming too slow, I don't want to do this anymore. Then we give you coping skills.
Oh, that's great.
Okay? So you're either with us until you build that skill back up and have that recovery, or you leave with some coping skills to help you deal with the effects of brain injury. Yeah, so that's the cognitive portion of what we do. And then we also provide community supports. So we walk beside you to help you get connected to the community services that are available to people who can't work, or people who can work but just need a little bit of additional help.
Do you love what you do? Do you enjoy it?
I have always loved what I do, or I wouldn't have been able to do it for 32 years.
Yes, okay.
Right? It's been a very rewarding job. REDI is a fantastic employer and always has been. They treat their employees well. We're always encouraged to keep learning and to develop our skills.
Great.
They're open to listening and exploring new ideas. Like, for an example, our division. I mean, it wasn't something typical. There's no other service provider in this part anyway that has, prior to 2002, that even had services to people with brain injuries. So REDI's been very open to looking for gaps in the community and then, finding the people to do that service.
What can we as members of society, and especially like in a very tight-knit community like Medicine Hat, what can we do to be more supportive of people that may have a brain injury if they were to tell us that?
Okay, well, I think number one, if you know somebody who's injured, really encourage them to go see their doctor.
Okay.
Either go to the ER or go see your family doctor. Don't wait. Oftentimes people wait and then they get better and they think they're better, but sometimes awareness isn't there once your brain has been hurt. So as a friend or family member, encourage that person, maybe go get checked.
Okay.
Don't hurt.
That's great.
And if you know somebody who has a brain injury and they're having the effects, just to be patient and remember to slow things down just a little bit.
Okay.
I know I'm guilty of it. I will sometimes speak very quickly. If you're with somebody who's had an injury to their brain, you need to try to slow down a little bit. Bring your volume down a bit. People who have brain injuries are often sound and scent sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah. So just be mindful of those things and asking the person. Just say, well, since your brain injury, what is it that you struggle with? And if they say memory, well, it's good for their friends and family and their support network to know that, because then they'll write things down, or won't say, oh, by the way, when you go here, would you pick up this and this?
Okay, so things like, just asking, and say with that memory example, like then asking, okay, so what can I do to help with that? Maybe that's lists, or I'm a big fan of scrapbooking, so
Yes,
I would ask, how do you feel if I take pictures when we spend time together?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. It's
You're
a
welcome.
huge subject and you're an expert on it, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Moving on from Burrs, it was time to catch up with my friend Azeez. Azeez previously appeared on Follow Us, where he talked about the intersection of race and disability. Lately, Azeez has been working with REDI to move into a new apartment and develop life skills. He invited me over to tour his new home and share a sit-down chat with him and his support worker, JJ.
Hello.
Okay, can you give us a little bit of a tour?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, this place is a 2-story built, I don't know, it's a 4-pack, so it's up and downstairs. Living room slash, this is the living room basically. I kind of set it up the way that I like it. This is a flat screen TV, which, nothing special other than it's TCL, and I got a voice remote because I'm visually impaired. TV can speak to me. So, anyways.
That's cool.
Balcony, and that area is kind of like, I'm still not completely settled in, so I got some stuff lying around. And this is basically kind of like a working station right now. It's supposed to be a dining room, but nobody ever comes into my house. So, this is kind of like a working station. So if I'm cooking, because the kitchen is right here. And this is me at the temple. This is the kitchen.
Nope.
Oh,
There we go.
Yeah. So this is the kitchen. Open concept, like I said, fridge. well, that's supposed to work, but right now it doesn't. Freezer, deep freezer. I have a deep freezer to put like whatever doesn't fit in there. This is a glass stovetop. Now, when I moved from my parents' home, and they have those. It's called electric stovetops, but they had the coils. Hated it. It's hard to clean. This is also hard to clean, but at least it's kind of, microwave. And I kind of organized my what do you call it?
Your cupboard?
Cupboards. Actually, the way that I can show you better is this. So this is the storage pantry. Everything is organized. Being visually impaired, you need to know what things are. Contrast is a big thing. So my vacuum stays up there. I just got someone. My Swiffer, some stuff is on the floor, but we're trying to clean that up. But yeah, overall concept.
You're doing great. Okay.
And that's the upstairs. So basically,
Great.
then we go to. Well, this is the closet for like coats and stuff. So, being me, I always lose my keys. So I actually purchased command hooks, put it here so that I can put my keys here, my keys in my wallet.
That's smart.
Actually, can you turn on the last light? Yeah, thank you. No, not that one. Last one. Yeah, thanks. In this place, you have to get your own dryer and washer. So I got my own dryer and washer.
You own these?
I own those.
Congratulations.
So like these are very expensive, but
Yeah. They're nice.
I got them gifted. The cool thing about this is not only it's actually I'll show you on the washer. This syncs up with my phone and my Google Home. So I used to forget if things are in the washer. Not anymore. When my thing does, it rings, and I can always ask my Google Home how much time is left on the washer, how much time is left on the dryer. So basically, that's it.
That's so helpful.
And it's a 3-gallon washer and dryer. So
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's got to be helpful just to have it like talk to you.
yeah, this is, I don't know what to kind of call it, but I kind of call it like where all my washer and dryer. So I kind of like to line everything up in order, so I
Nice.
can see it. Bring everything up in the front so that I can see it. So everything has its place. That's why when people come into my house, I'm like, don't touch anything.
Wow, here I showed up and moved your iPads.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay. But so bathroom, shower, nothing too special. One of these days I'm going to get them to install a bar here.
Nice.
I want to take a bath. But this is this is for, so I got 3 colors actually. So this and this is for like the sink. And this one I use for the bath because I don't like to
Mix them.
mix them.
So the color blocking helps you know
Yeah.
which one to use.
Yeah.
That's smart.
My room, I don't actually sleep here, but
Where do you sleep?
I sleep
On the couch?
Yeah.
Happens. I did when I lived alone too.
I love it. So I got a TV here. I got this dresser. In high school, I learned how to do video production and mass editing, and I love doing it. I just am scared that there's no jobs with that field. So like, I still do some shots. I still do some video from time to time. I want to eventually, once I get everything in the second room sorted, I want to actually start my own YouTube channel again.
Cool. You got a lot of good cologne.
Actually, I got gifted majority of this.
Really?
So yeah, I like colognes. Yeah, and I got a mirror so that I can see myself.
Check out your great outfits.
Yeah, and basically, then we have another room, but that is not fully set up.
It's like storage still. Great.
So yeah, that's basically my place right now.
It's really nice. You should be very proud.
Yeah. You know, living independent is a double-edged sword. Okay? I'm going to say it. It's a double-edged sword. There is good things about it, but then you realize that, you know, you're on your own. You have to cook. You have to do this. You have to do this. You got to manage your time.
Yeah.
So, like, at first I wanted to do everything in one day, and to God who made me. But yeah, you gotta figure out what your limitations are, and then they taught me, hey look, one day you clean this, the other day you clean that. Don't do it all on a Saturday because you're gonna get stressed out.
It's ongoing all the time. You got to break it down, fit it into your schedule, and everybody has dishes sometimes, or everybody has laundry sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's something that you don't really notice when you live in a, like, with your family. You don't notice that, like, that's happening because they're not always yours. But when they're yours, then it can be super stressful.
Yeah.
And it is one of the beauties of REDI being organized the way they are, well, the way we are, I guess, is that you can have that support, even whatever it is, whether we've got clients sometimes that go from independent living to living in a group home. And so I have people who are doing that, and speaking of like struggling within the community, we have a group of people who are looking to rent a place together, so it would become a group home and be a supported living, because they're all like individuals that need that extra support every once in a while, but are still very independent. So, but they're struggling now to find a location that is suitable who will rent to them, because they have support, and people don't always understand what that looks like or what it means. But also then a couple of them are struggling to get funding. So they had a place lined up and then it fell through, and so that's stressful. It's stressful for
hard.
the staff, but it's stressful for the clients too, to like get their hopes up and then and have them be dashed, and it's a process that's really challenging sometimes, and that's unfortunate.
That is
really
unfortunate. And like some of that seems like some bias with people not understanding how support works.
Yeah, for sure. So again, community and understanding is so paramount. Really, any type of education and like that can just open people's minds to understand that there's differences in the world, but it's still beautiful and still successful, and are more than capable of doing pretty much anything, sometimes more capable than me.
Yeah.
Because there's weird mad skills. Like Azeez remembers things like crazy that I just like I don't have that ability, but
You know, like there are, because she doesn't know this, but I actually also work with people with disabilities, and I see that every person with disability people see their disabilities, but yet they do have some type of talent that we cannot see at that point in time. And that's basically what they're trying to focus on with their clients.
And do you feel like they're doing a good job at it?
They're doing their best. They're trying.
That's awesome.
We try so hard.
Yes.
They're trying.
That's all we can do, right?
Yes, exactly.
You guys try all the time. We just try every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get up and you try, and that is life, and that's what everyone does.
Yeah.
Part of when Azeez first started living independently, and we were talking about mental health, and it's different when you start living alone, and so there isn't talking like a lack of supports in mental health. Fits into that because there isn't a lot, not specifically for Azeez, but just in general. There is a lack of mental health support within this community, and when you take on new things, sometimes you need that extra support, and it's really difficult. So we work through that as well because, like I said, we fill the gaps wherever they're needed, and we wear a lot of hats, and we do our best every day. And some days we're more successful than others, but we just wake up and we do it all over again because that's what life is. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
And some days I don't want to get up.
Azeez is always ready to go. What are you talking about?
Oh man.
He may not want to get up, but he's always ready to go.
And he's gonna do good.
I just have to. You have no choice.
Back at REDI, Robin rounded off my visit with a few anecdotes about the time she spent working with REDI Lives and one of her favorite clients, Nathan.
I had a chance to do a little bit. Now, I'm terrible in REDI Lives. I'm a nice human being, and I am terrible in REDI Lives. It's just not my skill set. But I had a chance to do a little bit of work with them, and I'm just amazed. I'm amazed at the difference. I'm amazed at the things that I learned. I learned from this one gentleman about records. Now, he has thousands, and I am not exaggerating, thousands of records, and he has the right record player to play the record on. So as we were working through this process, we had an individual transitioning from his home into a group home. So I would bring him and we'd make supper and then we'd switch. So I would hang out with the individual that was living in the house, his roommate, and the staff would get to know him and help him start to create this home that he'd never had on his own before. And to watch it was absolutely beautiful to watch that happening. And I learned so much about vinyl.
That's so cool.
And the history of vinyl and like hearing it on the big gramophone. Like, how fascinating is that? What an incredible skill that is. What an incredible base of knowledge that is. That personally, if I wasn't involved in this in REDI, I would never have experienced that. And I love music. Mm-hmm. It was absolutely amazing. I'm always amazed at this beautiful skills, these beautiful bits of knowledge, these beautiful experiences that I get to have thanks to the individuals that we serve. The Stampede has a day for individuals with disabilities. Now, my very favorite person here, Nathan, he loves his mama beyond belief, right? He loves flags. He loves a good old-fashioned cold Coca-Cola or a Pepsi-Cola, whichever his day feels like. And he loves clocks. These are his things. He loves these things, and they are around his room, and he has some really, really cool ones, right? So we had a chance to raise a flag for Day of Persons with Disabilities at the Stampede, and everybody on the team was like I swear the whole agency is like, this has to be Nathan. So we do. So we get him, we're like, hey, would this be okay? And his mom's like, yeah, absolutely. So we go, and I have his picture that I swear will change the world, of this incredible human being at the Stampede with me, with a cold Pepsi Cola. He's got a brand new hat that his mom brought him right beforehand. We were watching the rodeo. He's got a cold Coca-Cola, the greasiest basket of fries you've ever seen, the tiniest working cuckoo clock in his arms. And I have his picture, and the smile gets bigger, and I wish I had the picture of later on, but I don't have a picture of later on because 10 minutes after this picture's taken, we're going to raise the flag, and he gets to raise the flag for Day of Persons with Disabilities at the Stampede. And not only does he get to do that, afterwards, all the princesses come out and they're in love. So he gets a picture taken with all the princesses, and then he gets to go home with his mama out to the farm to have a great weekend. And I just, that day happened because everybody did their piece. That day happened because we have our ventures division that helps support the budget on this side. Because the management team was like, yeah, this is great. It happens because the Connects team was like, yeah, we can support transportation. And the Lives team at home were like, no problem, we'll make sure everything's ready to go. And the Works team, because we have the connection over there. Like, all of this happened because we worked together. And I was just blessed that I got to be in that moment.